feud with Ric Flair right there. So, okay, well, first, let's get into how the feud happened. How was it proposed?
So months before I even knew, or anybody really knew, that Flair was going to come to TNA, we did an overseas tour, and I remember on one of the last days, we had an off day, everybody was in the bar drinking, so I was in the bar drinking, I remember Devon making me drink white Zinfandel, and I remember I would doing shots of maybe Jaeger Bomb with the girls, Velvet, and
I think
Bubba was making me drink something too.
I think I may have heard part of the story that we're not going to
I think you heard that too.
All right.
After I woke up, literally
the next day
I heard, like, Earl Hebner came up to me and doing the strut. He was like, "Woo, you ready for today, Daddy?" And I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's too early for that. And then I had heard that I had this awesome Ric Flair impression last night, and I was like, I didn't even know I could do a Ric Flair impression. So then, sober, I tried it, and it was pretty amazing. I had never, up until that point, tried to do a Ric Flair. Although I watched Ric Flair a lot, I had never tried to do it myself, you know. And
really?
Apparently, I'd had a really good one.
I remember, like I said, I didn't really watch TNA, but I watched one episode of Impact. And I ended up getting the pay-per-view because I wanted to see your match. But I think it was maybe the episode of Impact right before it. Or it might have been actually just the lead up to the pay-per-view, like the little 15-minute thing they do before a pay-per-view. And they were showing the promo that you guys did with each other when he's in the ring and you're on the ramp and you're talking like Ric Flair and he's answering you. And I was in the kitchen, so I couldn't see my TV, I could only hear it. I swear to fucking God, I couldn't tell which one was which.
Okay, so funny thing about that. So we come back from overseas, and the locker room has heard about this. They deemed me a lot of times MVP of those trips because
the entertainment value.
The entertainment, right? So we come back. Everybody knows this Ric Flair impression. I'm doing the impression for Jeff Jarrett. Everybody wants to hear it. Whatever. One day I come in and Earl's like, "Guess who will be here in a few months?" And I said, "Who?" He goes, and he starts doing this Ric Flair stuff. And instantly, what crossed in my mind is, I know for a fact in the locker room. I never thought in the ring. I know they're gonna make me do the impression for him when he's here. So I was dreading that. I was
You were
like,
dreading it?
Fuck.
Why?
It was embarrassing, right?
Well, it's not embarrassing when you name it.
I thought it was going to be a little embarrassing for me. Plus a lot of pressure. Do it. And then he'd hate it. You know, it's not even that good. So then he finally came.
It's not even that good.
I remember I wrote about this.
It's not even that good. He's black.
I don't fucking sound like that.
I wrote about this in my blog too. I remember him getting there, and I remember peeking through the locker room, and I saw him, but everybody was around him, and I didn't want to meet him when everybody was around, because then people would be like, "Do it for him." So I tried to wait for him to be alone, but it never happened. And I remember going up to him. Well, let's get this over with. Nice to meet you. And he doesn't even stick his hand out, and he steps back. He goes, "Let's hear it." So I did the impression. Everybody got a big kick out of it. And then next thing I know, the next Impact we were at, Errol comes in. He always liked bringing me the news. Errol would come in, and he'd be like, "Guess who's got an in-ring with Flair today, Daddy?" And then he started strutting around, and I was like, "Oh, my God,
so
this
it was
is
right
insane."
away?
Right
Really?
away.
I thought he had been there for a little while, and then you got an angle with him.
No, not that long.
Really?
No, yeah, he wasn't there for that very long,
Shit.
because he got the ring. That was the whole thing. Abyss or something got the ring from him.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
And I remember thinking, boy, am I terrified, because up until this point, TNA has never given me a live microphone standing in the middle of the ring, ever. Up until this point. They had never, only promo I ever cut was a pre-tape in the back where I could mess up and they'd refilm it. But doing the Savage, there's no real mess up. I was like, if I say you just keep rolling because it's Savage. So now I have an in-ring for the first time live with Ric Flair, and I go to Vince Russo, and he goes, "Bro," and he does that, bro, you got an in-ring with Flair today. Let me tell you, Flair won't let us write anything for him, so we can't write anything for you, bro. So I don't know what to tell you. You got to go to Flair and ask him, what do you want to do today, because he won't let us write anything for him. So I said, oh, great. So I remember going to Flair, and Russo wants me to get with you about our pre-tape. About our in-ring. What do you want to do? And just like out of a movie, like right before he walks away, he goes, I'll see you out there. And then he walks away. I said, this guy is like a living movie. Like you get like CSI, that Miami, that guy who puts on those glasses. Yeah. He's like that. He hits some cool one-liner, and then he walks out the door. He's gone.
You gotta leave with the.
And I was terrified.
Like
I was terrified. And I remember Pat Kenny, Simon Diamond, right before it was time for me to go out, he goes, listen, you know, all you have to do is pretend to be Flair. He's going to come out. Then you guys talk about you. Just feed off of him. He goes, you do this in the locker room all the time. You just got to trust yourself that you can. This is easy. This is easy. And I remember Simon Dunn was the only one who gave me this. I was about to shit myself.
Yeah.
He was the only one to like calm me down right before I was about to go through the curtain. I don't know. If it weren't for Simon Diamond, I think I probably would have froze when my music hit, and I don't think I would have took that first step up the ramp.
So.
You know? He really calmed me down a lot, so good on him. And then I remember I did the impression. Flair got in the ring. Literally, when he stood in the ring, my hands went numb.
Right.
Like I was like, oh fuck, my hands are numb. And then we did the whole thing where he's in my face and he slaps me, and then it was amazing. So I told you that the only time I've ever let the things that people were saying affect me.
Were those things before or after the match? Like what they were saying, you know what I mean? Like
this was
after,
right before the actual match.
Okay.
Yeah,
What were they saying that would have like?
Well, for starters, he shouldn't be wrestling because he retired. That was the biggest thing, and I was like, I can't let what they're saying.
But why did that irk you though? Because they were saying that about him.
Because before the match even started, they were shitting all over it.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
You guys were just like,
he shouldn't be in there wrestling. Of all people to wrestle out of retirement when he shouldn't be wrestling, he's wrestling this kid Jay Lethal. This kid is horrible. He's just the Macho Man. Yeah, he's never done anything in wrestling. So I mean, it was hurtful to see some of the things because I'm about to have the greatest night of my life.
Yes.
I've never been married.
Right.
I don't have kids, which I think is the fucking one of the pinnacles in life. So this is about to be the greatest night of my life, and it was hurting me to hear some of the things that the people were saying about it. And I remember sitting in the locker room with Sanjay before it, and he goes, you know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are going to be watching this, right? And that terrified me even more because he's like, they're his friends. Obviously, he retired there. They're
Shawn Michaels retired him, and
right.
Flair's coming back in retirement to wrestle Jay Lethal.
You know they're going to be watching this, and it made me even more nervous. Oh, I was like, why did you say that, man? Oh, it was
But the match, I saw the match, and I thought it was great.
It was the greatest night of my life. Even if the
wrestling.
match was shit, you know?
But it wasn't.
It was the greatest night of my life.
It could have been shit. Let's be honest. Ric Flair is not a spring chicken anymore. But fuck, it was not shit. I thought it was tremendous.
I thought he was amazing. I remember we got in the back. He hugged me. He goes, match of the night. Let's see. He goes, let's see him top that. And then we'd be on house shows, and like I'd be getting dressed, tying my shoe, and I hear a distant voice, Lethal! Where you at, you son of a bitch? Like, just cursing my name for no reason. And I know exactly what he wants. And that means he brought somebody to the show and he wants me to do the impression for them. Then somebody would stick their head in the locker room. Flair wants you. Oh, I can hear him. Eventually, I'd get to him and he'd go, give it to him. So I'd do the impression for them. And not even thank me, he'd give it to him. So when I'm done, he'd grab whoever he was with. And as he was walking away, I'd hear him go, kid does me better than I do it myself. You know? I had such a great time with him, man. He's amazing.
Yeah, people can say whatever they want about him now, but fucking it's Ric Flair.
Right,
so that's
right.
like, those are literally memories you'll never...
Forever.
You can't trade. You can't make that shit up.
You can't.
That's awesome.